Hey everybody, another day, another video. If you like what you see and hear, consider liking, subbing, and ringing that bell, and comment. We like comments. Hello everybody. Bebop Deluxe. I have been chomping at the bit to do some Bebop Deluxe off of the Live in the Air Age. Now, I may have done some already in a previous video, in a previous life, in a previous time frame, galaxy. But I don't remember. I may not have, for all I know. But we are going to do two songs today. I obsessed on this album when it first came out. I was hooked. Holy mackerel. And as far as Bebop Deluxe goes, I like their studio stuff, and I have a few of their studio albums. But as far as I'm concerned, they are a live band. One of those bands that you need to hear live. I saw them live once. They were not headlining, but I can never think of the name of the band that's before the headliners. The headliners were Van Halen, which were cool. And I wanted to see Van Halen, absolutely. This was around 77. I went to see them. Yeah, Van Halen in their prime. But when it was Bebop Deluxe, warm-up band. I hate to say that, but I can't think of the right term. I was like, oh yeah, okay, gotta go see this. And I was like 3 rows back or something from the front. Small theater. Just an old movie theater turned into a venue for bands. Awesome show. Totally great. Bebop Deluxe and then Van Halen. Come on. So I'm going to do from that live album, Adventures in a Yorkshire Landscape, and then Shine. And both are, well, Bill Nelson, guitars. What a great guitarist. What an absolutely tasty, riffalific. He's not a shredder. I mean, he can kinda if he wants to, but he's more tasty licks. Just great stuff. So you have to kind of listen to it all the way through and really get a feel for his guitar playing. Just freaking awesome stuff, in my humble opinion. And I know how much that's worth. 0. Adventures in a Yorkshire Landscape. The lyrics are even cool. I had to look them up recently because I never did know exactly what he said, and it's kind of neat. Because I don't understand what people say 90% of the time. Buildings fall down. Footsteps that found. Mirrors in ballrooms lying washed on the ground. And even their keyboard work is very cool. Pathways and windows, movies and made. White old ladies soon pass away. Paintings and sounds that were done in a day. Vital statistics. Read the tea leaves. Turn those dilemmas for days such as these. Mr. Sustain. There you are. Some very tasty guitar playing. Very tasty. Tasty indeed. I don't know what to call it. What would you call it? Jazz? I'm sure he has like jazz influences in his playing. Some of the old jazz guys. I would think. I would say so. But what this is considered, I don't know. It's a genre of its own. So now let's check out Shine. And this is another guitar fantastic example of Mr. Bill Nelson's abilities. So fellas, if you please, Shine. We got bongos and everything. Steven Wilson could do a remix on this, though it sounds fine to me, but sometimes you need to just leave things alone. Know what I mean? See, that's the problem with this music. I just sit here and listen to it. So I'm not very entertaining. I'm probably not very entertaining as a rule, but you know, the people, the reactors that get all the views and all of the subscribers are the ones that run around and jump up out of their seat and do all that kind of stuff. Which I'm afraid you're not going to get that out of me. Spacey man, very far out. Blamp. Yeah, I was looking at, I looked up reactors yesterday, and I found out it was the #1 reactor. I guess, I don't know how they figured this out, maybe just by his general overall numbers, is, I think he calls himself No Life Shaq. Now, I used to watch him a bunch back, a year or so ago, and I liked him, but I haven't watched him lately. But apparently he's the #1 reactor as far as music goes. And I can kind of see why. I mean, I liked watching him because he was just nuts, and he'd get out and hit something. And he is listening to this stuff for the first time. I'm not really. There's a few things that I hear for the first time. But even so, when I hear something for the first time, my reactions are just not, over the top and crazy. Like his, he jumps up and runs around the room for a couple of minutes and does a whole spiel. Which is fine, and I guess, and people like to see that. Yeah, I mean, I do. I like to see people react crazily to stuff. Some people who I really like, I like watching their reactions, but I think they pause too much. They pause way too much. Some people, it's just constant pausing. Yikes. And for their benefit too, I think, to listen to something for the first time, to me, you should sit down and listen to it. Of course, you can't do that if you're going to do a reaction to it, because that ruins that, because now it's not new. But even so, with we're listening to something for the first time today, for these people who are reacting, to me it kind of ruins it for them a little bit, because their first impression is sitting in front of a camera talking about it on a microphone and pausing, and that wrecks it. I can remember hearing stuff for the first time and it was uninterrupted, no distractions. And that's the best way to go as far as I'm concerned, to truly have an initial reaction to it. So there you have it. Bebop Deluxe, Adventures in a Yorkshire Landscape and Shine. Why isn't Bill Nelson on any of the guitar lists? When they say the 10 best guitarists, the 20 best, the 50 best, the blah, 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 whatever the list is, he's never on it. Never. Why? Why is that? You'll get comments from people, if it's a YouTube video you're watching about the list, there might be somebody in the list go, where's Bill Nelson? Or this one or that one, who is, other people that are like totally ignored. It's the same people. And I don't consider anybody the greatest anything anyway. I'm not a greatest this or greatest that. Oh, it's the best album ever. Well, it's a good one and I really like it. Or a guitarist or musician. There's plenty of people I really like. And I like people for different reasons. I like this guitarist and I really like that guitarist and I like this one. I don't say this one's better than that one. They're just different. They're great at what they do and how they do it. Bands, guitarists, drummers, whoever. Neil Peart, the best drummer in the world. He's a great drummer, no doubt about it. But is he the best in the world? Maybe compared to who? Everybody else. What do you think? There's plenty of great drummers. You know who's a great drummer? And I didn't really, I knew his name forever, but Buddy Rich. Buddy Rich. I've known that name since I was a kid. But I never paid him any attention until fairly recently. I said, you know what? I've always heard about how good Buddy Rich was. How good could he be? He's some guy from the 50s. The rock drummers, those are drummers. So I made the point of going and tracking down some Buddy Rich. He is awesome. I mean, he's not a rock drummer. He's not doing Moby Dick, John Bonham kind of stuff. But man, for his day, he was ahead of his time. What's the other one? Buddy Rich and... I can't think of... There's another one. The two of them are kind of like up there. The old 50s drummers that people hold in very high regard. Well, we're getting off the track. Off the track. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know. Let me know that you think that he's a pretty good... he's a good guitarist. He's all right, man. But... Later, folks.